a forgotten epic, ancient secrets, and a civilization more advanced than history dares to admit. As the lines between myth and reality blur, one question remains. What if everything we thought we knew was only the beginning? The world is far older than we've been led to believe. Beneath the layers of time, buried in the echoes of forgotten legends, lies a truth so astonishing that it defies everything we thought we knew. A civilization far more advanced than history dares to admit, once thrived, leaving behind records not in crumbling ruins, but in the very fabric of myth and epic storytelling. The Ramayana, a tale of gods and warriors, of love and war. But what if it is more than just a story? What if it is a chronicle, an authentic account of a civilization whose reach extended across continents, whose knowledge of the earth was far greater than we ever imagined? Ancient texts speak of lands stretching beyond the known world, of great cities built with architectural precision, of flying machines that soared through the skies. They describe vast oceans, towering mountains, and even the frozen lands of endless night. How could a text thousands of years old describe places it should never have known? The answer lies in the details, in the precision, in the evidence that modern scholars have dismissed for too long. The time has come to look deeper, to see the Ramayana for what it truly is, not a myth, not a fable, but a window into a lost world, a civilization so advanced that its legacy still lingers, hidden in plain sight. Are you ready to uncover the truth? History is written by those who hold the pen, but what happens when the greatest stories are left untold? The Ramayana, one of the most revered epics in Hindu tradition, is often seen as a tale of devotion, duty, and divine intervention. But beneath its poetic verses lies something far more profound, a historical record, meticulously preserved, of a civilization whose influence stretched across the world. In its verses, the past comes alive, not as mythology, but as testimony. The landscapes it describes are not figments of imagination. They are real, tangible places, mapped with an accuracy that defies conventional history. The intricate details of its cities, the descriptions of vast oceans and towering mountains, each element corresponds to locations that exist to this day. Sugriva, the Vanara king, did not send his warriors on an arbitrary quest. His instructions were precise, guiding them through lands that span continents, pointing to regions that should have been unknown to the people of that time. The Alps, the Andes, the Arctic, these are not just poetic embellishments. They are coordinates, fragments of a world-spanning knowledge that modern historians struggle to explain. For centuries, these records have been dismissed, hidden under the label of myth. But now, as technology allows us to see the Earth as never before, as satellite imagery confirms ancient structures once thought to be legend, the truth of the Ramayana is beginning to emerge. This is not just a story. It is a map, a key, a doorway into a past that refuses to be forgotten. Legends often carry whispers of truth, and the Ramayana is no exception. It speaks of distant lands, of vast oceans crossed, of mountains so high they touched the heavens. But what if these were not mere poetic flourishes? What if they were evidence, buried in the words of an ancient text, waiting to be uncovered? Sugriva, the Vanara king, did not send his warriors into the unknown. His commands were clear, his directions precise. He described landscapes with a level of detail that should have been impossible for his time. His emissaries were told to search beyond familiar lands, to venture across mountains and rivers that, incredibly, align with real-world geography. The Kishkinda-Kanda section of the Ramayana outlines paths that lead not just across the Indian subcontinent, but to places far beyond, through dense jungles, over towering peaks, even into the frozen wastes of the north. References to Yuddha Parvata and Asa Parvata, the mountains of sunrise and sunset, hint at an understanding of the world that defies historical expectation. The descriptions place Yuddha Parvata in the Himalayas, while Asa Parvata stands across vast oceans, where the Americas now lie. How could an ancient civilization know of lands half a world away? And then, there is the most astonishing detail of all, a passage describing lands of perpetual snow, where darkness lingers for months. A clear reference to the Arctic, recorded in a text thousands of years old. This is not coincidence. This is not fantasy. This is knowledge, knowledge that should not have existed at that time, yet somehow it did. For too long, these connections have been ignored, dismissed as legend. But legends have a way of resurfacing, revealing their truths when the world is finally ready to see them. For centuries, the Ramayana has been dismissed as myth, a beautiful story, nothing more. But today, science is uncovering something extraordinary, physical evidence that aligns with its ancient verses. One of the most stunning discoveries lies beneath the waters of the Indian Ocean, a bridge stretching from the coast of India to the island of Sri Lanka. The Ramayana calls it Setubandha, Rama's bridge, a structure built to connect the two lands in a time long past. For generations, it was considered legend. Then came satellite imagery. What it revealed was a chain of limestone shoals, an artificial-looking formation linking India and Sri Lanka, eerily matching the descriptions in the epic. Geologists struggle to explain it. Engineers marvel at its precision. Could this be the remains of an ancient structure, built with technology we don't yet understand? But the mysteries do not stop there. Across the world, references in the Ramayana seem to align with real locations. Mountains, rivers, and entire continents once thought beyond the knowledge of early civilizations. How did the authors of this ancient text describe the Andes, the Arctic, and even regions of Africa with such accuracy? Then, there is the Pushpaka Vimana. Described in the Ramayana as a celestial flying chariot, it carried Rama and Sita across vast distances. A myth, until one looks closer. The descriptions of its construction, its movements, and its mechanisms resemble something far more advanced than a simple poetic metaphor. Could it be that the ancient Hindus possessed knowledge of aerodynamics, engineering, or even flight? The more science advances, the more these ancient stories begin to take on new meaning. The past is speaking, and the evidence is clear. The Ramayana is not just legend. It is a record, one that challenges everything we think we know about history. History is not just what is written. It is what is remembered, what is passed down, what survives the relentless march of time. But what happens when entire civilizations are forgotten, their achievements dismissed as legend? The Ramayana is more than a story. It is a window into a past that refuses to be ignored. It speaks of a world where knowledge was vast, where technology flourished, where maps were drawn not with speculation, but with first-hand experience. If this epic is not mere myth, then the implications are staggering. How did an ancient civilization know of lands across the oceans, of polar regions where the sun disappears for months? How did they construct bridges with engineering so precise that satellite images today confirm their existence? And most astonishing of all, why has modern history overlooked these truths? There is a choice to be made: to see the Ramayana as just another tale from antiquity, or to recognize it for what it truly is, a chronicle of a time when humanity was far more advanced than we ever believed. If the past holds secrets this grand, what else have we forgotten? And more importantly, are we ready to rediscover it? The truth has always been there, hidden in the verses of an ancient epic, waiting for the world to take notice. The Ramayana is not just a tale of gods and warriors. It is a testament to a forgotten civilization, one whose reach extended across continents, whose knowledge rivaled even our modern understanding of the world. For too long, history has been written with selective ink, erasing the extraordinary in favor of the explainable. But the pieces no longer fit. Satellite images confirm structures once thought to be legend. Ancient texts describe lands and landscapes with a precision that should have been impossible. Accounts of technology, of bridges, flight, and advanced engineering defy the limitations we have placed on the past. The question is no longer if these stories hold truth, but why they have been ignored. The world is at the edge of rediscovery. The past is no longer silent. It speaks through the evidence, through the texts, through the echoes of civilizations long gone. And now, it is up to us to listen. History is not just about what has been remembered. It is also about what has been forgotten. And the time has come to remember.